Hi and welcome. My name is Jenna and I'll be here to guide you through this short feel-good flow. So the point and intention behind today's practice is that to feel good. So we're going to do a few simple asana and stretch, a little bit of dynamic movement to help us just feel better in mind and body and through the muscles. So without further ado, let's start at the top of our mat. Tadasana or mountain pose. So feet can be neutral, hip distance apart, heels will be under the hips, and try to keep a nice straight posture all the way up. So if we naturally have a tendency to slouch forward or lean back, let's take a moment and find that nice centered space where we don't feel that we need to work to stay there. And as you've found this stance with your feet, created some height through the body, let's breathe a little bit deeper. If you'd like to place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly to help us feel that we're breathing deep into the diaphragm, this helps support us and benefit the body in so many ways through every pose that we do in no matter what style of yoga practice. So placing your hands, it doesn't matter which one, whichever is more comfortable up top and below. We're going to breathe in deep through the nose, taking a nice deep inhale. And once the lungs feel as full as can be, maybe those hands have spread away from one another, we exhale, gently release, also releasing the breath through the nose. Let's take a couple more like this. Noticing if our posture is wanting to lean forward or back. Once again, stay nice and tall. Big deep inhale and release every breath, resetting gently back to center. Feel yourself getting a little bit warmed up here just with this simple breathing. Last big one in and exhale, let it all melt away. Release the hands beside the thighs. And we're going to reach the arms up on an inhale. Just gently reaching up overhead, creating some length through the waist. And exhale, return those arms beside your thighs. So palms can face in towards your thighs or forward. Just maintain that tall posture. One more like this, arms sweep up. Inhale, reach. If you'd like to look up towards the palms and fingertips, exhale. Mountain pose. So we're going to take chair pose. So the space between your feet can be a little bit wider. They don't need to be right together. You might want to keep about a hand or foot's width between both feet so that we can sink the hips down, like we're going to be sitting down onto a chair, but we technically are the chair. So this is Utkatasana. Immediately you're going to feel the quads fire up. So if you feel the quads are awake, we're loading into the feet correctly. Notice if you're wanting to shift your weight all into the heels, toes, even that out a little bit, and then send the tailbone back just a little bit more. Hands can stay at the waist. You can take them to prayer heart center, or if you're feeling ready and strong, reach them up. They can come a little bit forward in front of the shoulders. So if you've got some tension in the neck, shoulders, this is a great chair. This is a really, really great, and you can keep the gaze neutral. This keeps the neck super safe. If you're feeling like you want a little bit more fire, a little bit more power, there will be some compression to the neck and shoulders, but you can take that reach up and look up between the palms. One more deep breath here. On your exhale, go ahead and fold forward, finding your mat, perhaps block in front of you. Hands can remain shin or thighs. We're just going to release the hamstrings for a moment and roll ourselves back up to standing. So we're going to take chair again, but we're not going to stay there. So sink the hips down. Once again, take your variety with the arms. We're going to fire it up a little bit. So shift your weight forward into the balls of your feet so that your heels raise up off of the mat. Now you'll notice your arms are going to move forward. All of your weight's going to shift forward and up a little bit. And then lower those heels back down. Beautiful. One more time. Shift that weight forward onto the balls of the feet. Ooh, those quads are working. That's beautiful. Lower the heels. One more. Ooh, we're feeling it and we're feeling good. That was the point of this. Heels down. Release the arms. Standing mountain. If you want to just take a moment, shift the legs. Those thighs sure worked. So now we're going to take our sun salutations. Inhale, reach the arms, sweep up. Look up, exhale, fold at the waist. Find block, floor, shins. Just a nice gentle forward fold here. Plant the hands, send the right and left toes back to meet in a high plank position. Lower the knees, chest and chin to your mat. Release the breath and inhale into the belly and chest. Low cobra. Beautiful. Curl the toes, push your weight into the hands. Rolling over the knees or toes. Push the hips up towards the ceiling. Reset the feet and hands. And we are in our first downward facing dog for this practice. Take a moment here. Make this one feel good. So if the hands and feet too far apart, bring them in a little bit more. You want your hips to be the center line of this upside down letter V. We'll just take a few nice breaths in here. So how we brought those breaths into the belly at the beginning of practice, we'll keep that going here. Trying to find that nice happy medium between work, balance, stretch, and relaxation. So look up to the top of your mat, plant some weight into your fingertips, shift your weight forward and step the toes up to meet between the hands. Find yourself back in that forward fold. Take a half lift, inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, fold it down. Allow the lower back to release a little bit here. Keep the knees bent and soft if the lower back tends to be an area of issue or concern. And very gently on our inhale, we're going to roll ourselves up. Use the strength of the abs, strength of the back, strength of the legs. Rolling up the shoulders, head, and chin last. Wonderful. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands, we're going to send the right toes back towards the back of the mat and gently lower the right knee down. We're going to take low lunge here. So take a moment, make sure that your knee and front heel are not sitting right on a tightrope. We're going to want to have some good stability here because we're going to flow a little bit in this position. Now, if you know that the knee is tender, take a bit more strength and take the raised knee, or if you have towel or blanket, just place that under the lower knee, okay? So if you've got that set up, we're gonna reach the arms up on an inhale and exhale down to cactus arms. So elbows to 90 degrees, out beside the shoulders. Beautiful, inhale, reach up. Do 3 like this, exhale, squeeze down. So working into the upper back and core a little bit. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus arms. Lovely. This time we're going to reach up. Exhale, cactus arms, and we're going to take a twist on over to the side. So keeping the legs the way they are. Make sure that our spine is nice and tall. We're not leaning down or falling backwards. Make sure those legs are still nice and stable. Just a couple breaths here. Twisted poses are very, very beneficial for a lot of things in the body. They help us to detoxify the system. So great thing to take a couple of breaths in. When you are all set, let's take it back to center. Raise the arms up, reach them down to find the floor on either side of your front toes. Curl up the back toes, send the left toes back to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin. Inhale it into cobra, little back bend. Exhale, roll over the knees. Take it to downward facing dog. Beautiful. So we'll step the right toes forward, between the palms, and we're gonna set that low lunge up on this side. So lowering the back knee down if you've got your towel or blanket, or if you're taking high lunge, make sure that your legs are really, really set up properly if you're taking that high lunge. It does require a lot more strength, and we're trying to work into the core and back for this one. So we'll take the knee low, inhale, reach the arms up, 3 cactus arms, exhale. Wonderful. So you know what we're doing now. Up we go. Beautiful cactus arms. Feel that heat building in the body. Feeling good. Third one. Excellent. So one more time, we're gonna reach up, take those cactus arms and take a twist. So if you're feeling like you want to open the arms right up and that feels nice through the arms and chest, go for it. If you're keeping those cactus arms, watch those elbows aren't falling anywhere else, keeping them nice, tall, and proud. One more nice breath here. Taking all the benefits of this twisted asana and dial it all back to center, arms up. Exhale, find the floor on either side of your front toes. Curl the back toes, send the front toes back to meet in plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, roll over the knees. Hips go up to downward facing dog. Notice how this down dog feels compared to the first. Things are warmed up. Things, hopefully, are feeling good. We'll just take one more moment here. Nice deep breath into the belly. Exhale it all out. And we're gonna lower the knees down. So planting more weight into your hands. We're gonna come on down to all fours. So if you're using your towel as a cushion for the knees, have that set up. If you are just on your mat, make sure that your knees are tracking in line, sort of with your heels, and your wrists are lined up with your shoulders. Hips and knees are also lined up. This is going to give you some really good stability as we work through these cat-cows. So we're just going to work through the spine, a little bit of mobility. Inhale, arching the back, looking forward with the chin. Exhale, round the back, chin into the chest. Push the mat away with your palms. Feel that nice stretch through the upper back. And then change that curve of the spine. Nice arch. Send the tailbone and head towards the sky. And then exhale. Send them in towards one another, arching through the upper back. A couple more like this. Your breath, your pace. And coming back to neutral, we'll just push into the fingertips, push the hips back on over the heels. You can take the knees a little bit further apart. We're just gonna reset in child's pose for a moment. Stretch those fingertips out in front of you. Forehead rests on the mat. Couple of deep breaths here. If you'd like to tent the fingertips up, feeling a little bit of a nice stretch through the back of the shoulder. This is always a nice variety to take when you're resting in child's. Even when we're resting in yoga, there is work that's happening in the body, work that's happening in the mind. So let's roll the fingertips, walking them up towards yourself, finding ourselves in easy pose at the back of the mat. We're gonna reach the arms up, sweep up. Drop the left arm down beside you, reaching up with the right palm. Side bend over to the left. And maybe we look up at the right elbow. Inhale, reach both arms up, back to center. Dropping the right hand down beside you. Left arm reaches up, and we'll take that same side bend on over to the right side. Just a nice breath here into the waist, and if you'd like, look up to the elbow or to the fingertips. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, return them to the mat beside you. So a little tricky, we're gonna come to standing. So plant your weight into your toes, rolling on over to the balls of the feet. Use your fingertips to support you here. And we're gonna come on up to find ourselves on the balls of the feet. Now if we're wobbly, a little tricky, we're okay, but we're gonna really work some strength into the legs here. Hands can stay at the waist, prayer, or stay on the floor until we get to a certain point. We're gonna use the strength of the toes, ankles, and legs to come on up to standing. We can do this. We got this. Whew, even if we're wobbly, we've got this. Okay, heels down. Wonderful. Let's take Malasana. So yoga squat, I'll turn sideways so that we can see. Heels are gonna be about hip distance apart, toes are going to face out. We're gonna bend at the knees and sink the hips right down. So it doesn't have to be a really far apart or a really low squat. Here's another space where the block can come in very handy. So we want the sits bones below us and we want a nice straight posture. This is a great hip opening posture. And hands can find prayer heart center. Really making sure we have a nice, tall, long spine here. Couple breaths here. And we're all set. Fingertips down to the floor, plant weight into both feet, a little bit into the fingertips, and you're gonna send the hips straight up, finding yourself in a wide-legged forward fold. We'd like to do a brief ragdoll here. Feels great. Grabbing opposite elbows, allowing the upper body to fold forward. If you'd like to sway side to side here, this is a nice reset. Now planting both hands under your face. You're gonna inhale, half lift, looking forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands come to the waist. Exhale, just gently roll yourself back up to standing. Now we'll take a step, use the strength of your inner thighs to return to mountain, top of the mat. And we're almost done today. Just a balancing posture, and that will complete everything for us. So let's take pyramid pose. This one's a great one. It helps to stretch out the IT bands and hamstrings a little bit, and it's really great for balance and strength through the entire body. So to take pyramid pose, if you do have your block, it can sometimes help have that set somewhere at the top of the mat. So take your right foot, step it back about 2 feet behind, and then you're going to plant that foot on a 45-degree angle. So your toes are facing up towards the top right corner of your yoga mat. So both legs are straight, both hips are facing the top edge of your yoga mat. Now hands can go to the hips, or hips can go to the hands. Either way, this is yoga. We move the body in all kinds of ways. Inhale, look up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge gently forward at the waist. So you're looking down at your front toes here, keeping a nice straight line through the upper back. We're not looking for this. It's not a back bend. We're looking for nice strength and balance. And you'll notice as you tip forward, feel what's happening in the legs. Plant down through those back toes, back outer edge of the foot. Make sure that you're pulling the left hip back and simultaneously turning the right hip forward a bit. Then you'll feel that IT stretching. If you're doing a lot of workouts, running, cycling, even a lot of walking, this is a pose that might feel very pleasant or very unpleasant. If you've got your brick and you want that for some support, absolutely. One more breath. Inhale, half lift, lengthen that spine. Exhale, fold. Now we're going to return the right foot beside the left, top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up. Reach the arms up. Return to mountain. So let's take the left foot, send that back for pyramid. So same distance or a different distance if you didn't like how you were the first time. Back toes pointed 45 towards the upper edge of your top edge of your mat. Both legs are straight, both hips tracking forward. Hands can stay at the waist, prayer heart, or just use them to help you on the way down. Leading with the heart, inhale, exhale, fold at the waist, hinging forward. Gaze is over that big toe, slightly just in front of that big toe. Watch that the hips are not wanting to spin out. That's why I chose pyramid. It's a tough one. And we're all so different. Anatomy will dictate a lot for us, what we need distance-wise with the feet, where we're gonna feel tightness or restriction anywhere. And we're gonna use our breath and our balance and our strength here to make sure we can do this for just one more breath. Beautiful. So inhale, lengthen the spine, gaze comes forward, exhale, fold it in. Send the left toes back up to meet the right, gentle forward fold, inhale. Roll up, rise up. Inhale the arms up. Now come on up onto the balls of the feet. And we're gonna sink the hips down. So we are in a chair now. And we're gonna lower ourselves all the way down, finding the mat, rolling onto our backs. So once you've found the way there, we're just gonna do a gentle hip opener. Now, if you know that butterfly is a little bit much for you, I'm gonna give 2 recommendations here. So for Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclined butterfly pose, soles of the feet come together, knees open, and just drop down, allowing gravity to open up. So this will help stretch hip flexors, hip adductors. Also, you may feel this a little bit through the abdominals. And if this is the one you choose, take 3 to 5 nice deep breaths here. If you know that that's a little bit too much on your hips, I'm going to recommend figure 4. So we cross the ankle over the opposite knee and then just allow that knee to drop open. So this will offer a similar opening to the inner thighs, but maybe not as much compression into the hip socket. So take whichever variety that you like. If you're taking figure 4, do take a couple of breaths on each side. Yoga is all about balance, so we do want to make sure that we work everything into both sides of the body. So once you're all set, if you've taken reclined butterfly, you can use your palms to help collect the knees back together. And what we will do is we're going to rock and roll, super gentle, until we find ourselves up into a seated position. So joining cross-legged or kneeling, we're just going to close this practice out. So the point of today was feel good, flow. So I hope you feel not just good, but great. So palms can be face down on the knees or palms up, your choice. We'll just take a few cleansing breaths here. So in through the nose and sigh it all out the mouth. Don't be shy, just let it all go. Inhale it all in, nice fresh air. Exhale out any stress that's hanging on. You got it. One more. Inhale nice and deep. Sigh it all away. Great work. Let's inhale, the arms up. Meeting in prayer overhead. Exhale, return them to heart center. If you'd like to close the eyes down for just a brief moment, feel a sense of gratitude for yourself for showing up for this short little feel-good flow. And that's the beauty of yoga. You don't have to practice a lot of yoga to get the benefits of it. So from me to you, namaste, and hopefully we see each other again soon.